sellout, 18,000 plus at Chicago Stadium. The Boston Celtics come to town. The Boston Celtics are 21-10 in first place in the Atlantic Division. The Chicago Bulls on a
John Paxson off the bench. This is giving him much more firepower as far as his bench performance is concerned. But the area where the Bulls are hurting is the center position. They got rid of Artis Gilmore. He's back with the Celtics now. You can see that Mike Brown is starting. Corzine's off the bench, and they've used Granville Waiters. But they need some help in the center position. They've even used Oakley as well.
Moments away from the tip-off, let's look at the starting lineup. First of all, for the visiting Boston Celtics, Bird and McHale at the forwards, Parrish at center. Dirk Minifield will be the point guard tonight. Dennis Johnson is injured, as I told you, on the opening with a rotator cuff injury to his right shoulder. Danny Ainge will be the #2 guard, and of course, K.C. Jones coaching the Boston Celtics. Now, for the Chicago Bulls, they've won 4 in a row at home. Sellers and Oakley at the forward positions. Michael Brown, as Rick told you, one of 5 players who play center at one time or another for the Bulls this year, will start at center. Rory Sparrow, the starting point guard, but John Paxson will play a lot and come off the bench. And of course, Michael Jordan, who had 45 points out his last time. They're coached by Doug Collins, who will be playing in that Legends game coming up on the Superstation on All-Star Saturday. And as you see, the Celtics have defeated the Bulls the last 5 times they have played in Chicago. But the Bulls, on the other hand, have won their previous 4 home games. It ought to be a good one here tonight. Particularly, it might be balanced a little bit in terms of the Bulls' favor with Dennis Johnson out of the lineup for the Boston Celtics. The tip goes to the Bulls. Nice save to open the game by Michael Jordan.
What you're going to see defensively by the Bulls, because Dennis Johnson isn't in, is you're going to see Rory Sparrow doing a lot of double teaming because they're going to leave Minifield alone. They wouldn't have that luxury if Dennis Johnson were here.
Oakley from the perimeter. It's out of bounds and it belongs to the Boston Celtics.
Charles Oakley's been doing a lot of talking here in town lately about the fact that the Bulls don't try to exploit his offensive potential. Well, if he keeps shooting like that, they're never going to do it.
Bob and Tommy Nunez are your officials. Scoreless ball game from Chicago Stadium. McHale back to Minifield, who penetrates. Nice pass from Dirk to Robert Parrish, and Dirk Minifield makes his presence felt immediately.
And Rory Sparrow double team, and they paid the prices. Minifield made a good penetration move to create the opening.
Rory Sparrow, engineering major at Villanova. Brad Sellers, the 7-foot quick forward. Here's Mike Brown, a good perimeter shooter. He doesn't get it there. Foul against the Chicago Bulls, and it's against Charles Oakley, his first.
Speaking of Villanova, they pulled up a nice upset against Syracuse last night.
Minifield out of the University of Kentucky. He's played with 6 different teams, been the property of one time or another 6 different teams. Also played for Louisville in the CBA. Here's Bird, gets a pick from McHale. From long range, Larry Bird.
They're looking this year at a much more offensive-minded Larry Bird. When he comes off those picks and screen, he's looking shot rather than pass. Not that he won't give it up just as easily. If someone's open, he'll find it.
Sparrow from 17. Rory Sparrow. He's 6'2", in his 8th year as a pro. He's much traveled also. Into McHale, who got behind Oakley.
That was a great pass, and there was no one from the Chicago Bulls anywhere in the area to be able to go back in and help. Just a perfect pass, but credit McHale for keeping Oakley out of the play.
Celtics haven't missed thus far. They're 3 out of 3 and lead 6-2. Opening moments of the first quarter from Chicago. Jordan hasn't scored yet.
I think Michael Jordan should have an easier time of it tonight because normally Dennis Johnson guards him, and he's one of the best defensive guards in the league.
It'll be interesting to watch that matchup. We'll keep our eye on it. Parrish gets it back to Ainge. He penetrates and passes to Minifield. And 3 seconds in the lane. The extra pass caused the violation and the turnover, and it goes back Chicago's way with the score 6-4. Celtics, 9:43 to go first quarter. Bulls can tie. Bulls bench has been playing very well, particularly with Paxson and Corzine coming off that bench. Boston's bench has not been. Sellers has it stripped away by McHale. Jordan tries it from the corner. Rebound Sellers. The 7-footer lays it back up and in. It's tied at 6.
That had to please Doug Collins. They've been trying to get Sellers more active on the boards.
Bird with the left-handed layup, missed it. Rebound Oakley. NBA's leading rebounder. Excuse me, that's Mike Brown with a rebound, and we've got a foul on McHale. Mike Brown, number 17. He's from George Washington University. Played in Italy 1 year. Played about 62 games for the Bulls last year. Buying time for the Bulls at center. Sparrow from the perimeter. Rory Sparrow. Hale, the double team. Look at all his moves. Oakley rebounding. McHale's going to miss that shot about 1 time out of 50.
He's also going to shoot it about 49 out of 50.
Bulls leading 8-6. Brown misses from the perimeter. Parrish out on the break, as he does so many times. Can't handle it. It'll go to Chicago. Bulls leading 8-6. 8:29 to go first quarter.
Talk about McHale inside. He used to tease ML Carr. ML just said, I was open when he played for him. And Kevin said, ML, if you weren't up by the rim, I'm never going to see you. He said, besides, why should I pass the ball to a guy shooting 47% when I'm shooting over 50? It's an attitude Kevin McHale plays with.
Brad Sellers on the drive over Bird. Kept alive by Sellers. Brown has it blocked by Parrish. McHale to Minifield to Bird. There goes Minifield on the drive. And the foul on the drive. Don't count the basket. Minifield will go to the line.
Sparrow with the foul.
His first, second team.
Well, watch the move again. Sparrow moved in, made the contact down low, saw that he wasn't going to be able to draw the charge, tried to get out of the way, but still made contact. And Michael Jordan had a great block, but it was after the whistle had blown. Minifield has been well traveled since he got out of school in 1983. He's been the possession, actually the property of 7 different teams, played for 4 of them. Second round pick for Dallas that year in '83.
He was in Chicago's camp. Didn't make the club. Played the CBA some. He's really a pure point guard, which by definition you wouldn't really say Dennis Johnson is. It's tied at 8, 7:49 to go first quarter. Traveling Rory Sparrow. 7:43 to go in the first. As I said, it's tied at 8.
That young man is quite a person. A very giving young man. Has the Rory Sparrow Foundation. Does a lot of work for underprivileged kids. I know the organization is very proud of him.
Ainge to McHale. There's the double team on McHale. Finds the open man. It's Minifield from the perimeter.
Well, Doug wants him to shoot from out there. Says if we're going to get beaten, I want Minifield shooting jumpers, but that's not the result he would like to see. Minifield signed with Boston on December 17th.
Sellers, pretty good perimeter shooter, but not that time. Minifield wearing the number 11 that was worn by Sam Vincent before he went to Seattle. McHale in the post. That's the second one he's missed down low. Doesn't miss that one.
The last time these two teams met, both McHale and Bird were not participants in the game. It was a close game. Chicago won down in Hartford. Offensive fouls on Oakley, as you said, a moving screen to free Michael Jordan.
We have a timeout on the floor. 6:44 to go in the first quarter. Celtics lead by 4.
I tell you, my kids have to be proud of me meeting those two fellas. I have to get their autographs for them. They know them. Hey, McHale saw them in the stands and recognized them.
You were great as a wrestling announcer. I showed real promise there. Dirk Minifield handling for Boston, leading by 4. Bird, the jump hook, rebound Sellers. A couple of big boards early for the youngster. They got the mismatch, but Sparrow couldn't get the ball to Mike Brown. They got Bird out on Sparrow, and they had the bigger man against Minifield, but good defense by Bird. 13 on the shot clock. Sparrow from 13, rebound Parrish.
Boston doing a good job of controlling their defensive boards.
You see here how much Boston really plays a 2-guard kind of system. Ainge can handle the ball. Bird can handle it at the point forward. So it's not a lot of pressure as it would be in some teams to have Minifield replacing Johnson. At the point, Bird from the perimeter.
You got to get some help when you get screens from Larry Bird's coming off. If no one jumps out, he's going to hit shots like that all night long.
Bird's previous game, he was 6 out of 14 and a real shooting slump for him. That means he'll probably score a lot tonight. Brad Sellers. It's 14-10 Celtics. 5:35 to go first. Sellers has 4 points. Haynes running the club. Boston gets a triangle set up, and now Minifield runs into it to set the Bird pick. He's open down low. Reverse layup. Doesn't fall. He lost Sellers.
And the Bulls did not play the kind of defense Doug Collins talked about. They ran that specific play in the shoot-around this morning, and Mike Brown was supposed to be in a help position, and he wasn't. That's why Bird was wide open.
Corzine getting set to come in for Mike Brown. Speaking of Brown, Jordan couldn't get the shot off. Nice feed to Sellers, who took it to the basket in a power move, and he's got 6. Bird, the drive past Sellers. The reverse misses. There's Parrish. Counted and the foul.
And just what we talked about at the start of the ball game, the Bulls have got to control their defensive boards. They're not doing a very good job of it thus far, Bob. We'll watch the move again. Here you see Michael Jordan pitching it out on the replay for the Bulls, and Sellers just gets by Bird, takes it in over Parrish on a good move, the type of moves that the Bulls coaching staff has been working with Sellers on all season long to get him to play more physical. He's got so much talent. We've talked about it in games before. He could be a real force in this league if he gets a little bit more physical, because he has all of the tools.
Parrish makes it a 3-point play. And now Horace Grant, the rookie from Clemson, the second of the Bulls' 2 #1 draft choices this year, and Dave Corzine in. Corzine from 18 comes off shooting. Corzine's been used off the bench in the first 23 games, started 4, now back in reserve role. He likes it better there. He's averaging 12.8 points during the win streak in about 25 minutes. Larry Bird from the perimeter.
And it was caused by Minifield's good penetration.
19-14 Celtics, 4 minutes and change remaining in the first quarter. Jordan off the Grant pick, and he's fouled. Be Dirk Minifield's first of the ball game.
Second team foul.
Team foul situation, Celtics with 2, Bulls with 3. Coming up Friday night, Utah Jazz will be out playing the Seattle Supersonics. That's at 10:05 Eastern Time. Corzine, 2 perimeter shots, and it's a 3-point Celtics lead. Parrish over Corzine. Corzine with a rebound, and we got a foul on Parrish.
Well, they went over him again. Rumble is back for the rebound.
That's his first, 3rd team foul.
See the first shot just a little bit too hard for Robert, and over the back to Corzine to try and pull down that rebound.
Chicago moving the ball well. Jordan over Ainge.
That's what you have to do against the Celtic defense, because they'll do some doubling, they'll do a little bit of trapping on their own. You have to move the ball, and that's what the Celtics do so well against their opponents.
Ainge for 3. And foul on Minifield, his second after the Corzine rebound. So Ainge, you know, has a string of 15 consecutive games, an NBA record in which he has scored a 3-point field goal. And now, coming into the game, former Chicago Bull, Artis Gilmore, he left Chicago in a cloud of controversy. The Bulls management saying he wanted to be waived. He said, no, I didn't. That's just what they say. The next thing you know, Artis shows up in a Celtics uniform. Jordan. Foul on the left arm of Jordan, using it to fend it off. None was coming. Jordan has 6.
Might have had a pretty good case.
The Bulls have the lead by 1. 2:48 to go first quarter. Gilmore got the pass, tried to pass it, and lost it. 3 Boston turnovers now. Corzine from the perimeter. He's red hot. Corzine, 3 out of 3. Is this an effort to get Corzine, Rick, scoring from the perimeter to loosen up the Boston defense a bit?
I think it definitely is. He's capable of doing that, and he has to look to do it to help this Bull team. Not like he played against Dallas that one game where he never took a shot.
McHale on the turnaround and the fall away. Bulls continue to lead by 1 with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's been a beauty. McHale has 6 points. Corzine has 6 too. He's 3 for 3 from outside and looking for the ball again. Corzine out on the left side, but Sparrow tries it. rebounds. Boston runs. All 5 Chicago players are back on defense, however. Now McHale against Horace Grant. And the foul. Grant pushed him before the shot. He was getting some help from Jordan, but it came too late. So McHale will get that. He now has 8 points. He'll have an opportunity to make it a 3-point chance after this timeout with 1:42 to go in the first quarter.
Keep an eye on the circle. Kevin McHale, Horace Grant on him, 54 in the white. Now watch how he'll get the ball. The ball will go from Ainge, 44, over to Bird. Now there's good position by Grant. Now he'll turn his head and get caught as McHale made the move back. He had good position. Now the ball goes in. The ball's bounced. They come over to double team a little bit too late. Grant leaves his feet, and when that happened, McHale jumped into him, made the contact, and drew the foul. You have to stay between McHale and the basket at all times. If you let him get that low post position, you have a big problem. And what happened is that time Grant, Bob, if you notice, didn't have good man-ball relationship. He lost sight of McHale for a second and got faked out.
8 points for McHale for 10,000. He just scored his 10,000th point, and this is still 10,000. So Kevin McHale just entered the 10,000 point mark here tonight. And speaking of that, there's another Boston player who's headed for it too. Robert Parrish needs 20 tonight for his 15,000th. Rebound Boston, and into the ball game is their draft choice Reggie Lewis from Northeastern University. He wears number 35. He's in because, remember, Dennis Johnson's out. Beautiful pass to Bird from McHale. Blocked by Sellers. Jordan. As you saw, Jordan jammed right through the hoop and through our camera on the baseline.
And Bob, that was nothing like they're going to see the fans on February the 5th, All-Star Saturday, when he defends the slam dunk title.
McHale, pass from Lewis. Rebound Sellers, who's been doing a great job on the board so far tonight. He has 5 rebounds. And the foul on Boston. It's on Artis Gilmore. 46 seconds to go first quarter. The Bulls lead it by 1, 24-23.
Cute story, as you see the picture of Artis Gilmore. Grant at the free throw line has a twin brother playing for Oklahoma, Harvey. And he had a great game. Of course, Oklahoma was just beaten the first time, I think, last night by LSU. But Doug Collins saw that his brother Harvey had such a great game that he started calling Horace Harvey. And Horace thought that he was just making a mistake and then realized he was doing it on purpose. He says, Coach, why you call me Harvey? He says, well, listen, until you play a good game like your brother played the other night, I'm going to keep calling you Harvey. So Horace trying to go ahead and play. Of course, he's playing a little bit of competition here than Harvey is at Oklahoma.
Shoots 52% from the free throw line, something he definitely needs to work on. Doug Collins told us, speaking of Horace Grant, that he's playing really better as a rookie than the number 1 of the 2 first-round picks, Scottie Pippen, is. He says, I think, Collins said, I think one of the reasons is Grant played so much better competition coming out of the ACC than Scottie Pippen did at Central Arkansas. And he said Pippen is really having a difficult time the second time around as teams get used to his moves. Pippen's having to work on certain moves like the perimeter game. Shot clock down to 10. Reggie Lewis has it tipped out of bounds. It'll be Boston's ball with 9 on the shot clock.
I was checking out the stats, and I think that McHale was a typo error. He needs 8 points to reach 10,000 in this ball game, so he hasn't reached it yet.
He does have 8 points.
He does. He got his 8th. Okay.
5 seconds on the shot clock.
He needs 8 more points, though. I think he needed 16 in the game. We'll get it straight now. There's a chance for 2 more anyway coming up right here as he again made the good fake to get his man out of position.
Exactly. He needed 14 points. Has 8 now. So he's 6 points away from 10,000.
I knew it was something like that.
26-23 Chicago with 24 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Now, speaking of Scottie Pippen, we're going to get our first look at him. And again, you pointed out the teams realize that he likes to go to the basket, likes to drive, likes to get in the open court situations. Outside shooting a bit suspect. Doug Collins has him shooting at practice sessions and all 250 shots a day working on the outside shot as Grant goes to the bench.
Pippen wears number 33. Pippen, of course, would be finishing his college season. This is 30 games into the season now. And Brad Lohaus, another rookie in. Boston with some young players, which is somewhat unusual for the Celtics. Lohaus has been playing well of late.
His big problem is that he played at Iowa, and he played mostly outside in their offense, and he's really had to learn the inside game. In fact, this summer he worked with Ed Badger, the chief scout who lives in Colorado Springs and has a camp in the Air Force Academy, and his game's coming along very nicely. Good passer, runs the floor well.
Bulls by 1, 16 seconds to go in the first quarter. Shot clock and game clock are exactly the same. Pippen. All that work is paid off, and we have 1 second remaining. Ainge from long range almost got it at the end of the first quarter. Bulls by 3.
Portions of tonight's game are brought to you by Honda, who invites you to experience the all-new Civic hatchback at your local Honda dealer.
The front page of the Monday edition of the Chicago Sun-Times had Walter Payton's picture, his head in his hands as the Bears lost to the Redskins in Walter Payton's last game, and all it said on the full-size picture on the front of that newspaper was, "It's all over," and they were referring to the great glorious years that Walter Payton brought to the fans in Chicago.
Charles Oakley, Rory Sparrow back for Chicago.
See the Bulls' exceptional field goal percentage. The Celtics at 47%, and the Bulls surprisingly doing a good job there on the boards. That's something that Doug Collins said they've been lacking in their rebounding, holding their own right now, although they still need to do a better job on their defensive end.
Ten on the shot clock.
Looked like he may have traveled before he made that move to the basket. Looked to me like he moved both of his feet. Eventually drew the foul.
Teams first.
First team foul on the Bulls. They lead by 3. Opening moments, second quarter. This is on Paxson for holding Reggie Lewis. Lewis making a transition from forward, the quick forward position he played in college, to the guard position for the Celtics, but he's big and likes to play down there, and they'll try to get him low against Paxson. They do it again, and they're successful.
Got to put more pressure on the man passing the ball so he doesn't have as easy a time throwing it in there in that situation.
Pippen, nice drive, blocked by Lohaus. The backboard. It'll belong to the Bulls, who lead by 1 with 11:14 to go in the second. Pippen and Sparrow in the backcourt, along with Paxson. Pippen playing really the number 3 position up front for the Bulls. Corzine and Oakley.
Pippen handles the ball so well. Doug Collins not worried at all about putting him outside.
There's Paxson, and since he's been coming off the bench, Doug Collins says Paxson's legs are fresher, and he's shooting the perimeter shot even better than usual, and that's what he brings to the Bulls club, is that good outside shooting.
And plus, when he comes in, he's not running the point guard position, so he doesn't have to work as hard.
Bird finds the open man. It's Dirk Minifield. Bulls by 1. Got caught up in the mix, wanted to get it to Corzine, turned it over. 3 turnovers in the ball game for the Bulls. Celtics can take the lead on this possession. Celtics beat the Bulls 3 straight games in the opening round of the playoff last year.
Really taking advantage of that mismatch with Lewis on Paxson. That's 3 times that they've looked inside, gotten a foul and the basket out of it.
Blocked from behind by Corzine, who just took the ball, gets it to Pippen, has Oakley way over on the left, but decides to set it back up and gives it to John Paxson. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Rick and I will be selecting the Miller Lite player of the game from the corner. Parrish rebounding. Boston can take the lead on this possession. Bird to Lohaus, excuse me. Lohaus with a layup. His first points of the game. Oakley muscling his way inside, but missing the shot, wanted the foul. Pippen breaks up the long pass to Bird. Lohaus is there to keep it alive. It'll belong to Chicago. Corzine can't get it to go down. Bird with a rebound. He's averaging 9 a game. Nice pass from Lewis to Parrish. Missed the layup. Counted. Goaltending is the call.
Hit the backboard when the ball was up on the rim.
Celtics by 3 with 9:03 to go, second quarter.
I would expect Michael Jordan will be back in relatively soon.
Sparrow, who came from the Knicks. Handling ball to #1 draft choice Scottie Pippen. Spots up and shoots from the perimeter. Missed his last 2 outside shots. Down to Parrish, who had gotten inside of Corzine, but Corzine back for the block, and Pippen with the foul.
Foul on Scottie Pippen, his second.
We have a timeout charged to the Chicago Bulls with 8:36 to go in the second quarter. Celtics leading it by 3. So Scottie Pippen's been slumping lately as in his rookie year with the Chicago Bulls. Prior to the game, Rick talked to him about how he's working on his game.
Well, I feel like this is coming along pretty good. You know, I feel like that's one thing that's sort of kind of holding me back right now, because teams notice that I love to penetrate and try to go inside and make something happen or get the easy layup. So I've been working on that, and hopefully I can get my game where it be complete.
He was talking about his outside shooting, and he's had a problem with it. As you see right here, I'll take this shot, makes a little fake, shoots it a little flat. Well, that one he actually made. The one before, the one next one is he shot it a little flat and caught the front part of the rim, and Doug said he's been having a problem with that. You got to get the arm going up to the basket instead of at the basket.
2 points and 2 fouls thus far in the ball game for Pippen. Parrish missing the free throw. 8:36 to go in the second quarter. Celtics lead it by 3. Parrish missed from both.
Still surprised that Michael Jordan's not in the ball game.
Jordan yesterday at practice banged his thumb on Dave Corzine. He's playing with a sore thumb, but it shouldn't be enough to keep him out of the ball game. Pippen missed again, also hitting the front of the rim on the flat shot. Bird to Minifield, back to Bird. Beautifully done. Minifield playing like the veteran he is here tonight.
And the Bulls missing the shots. The Celtics controlling the boards, and they've gotten their last several baskets off of break opportunities. Michael up at the scorer's table right now.
Celtics by 5. Oakley against Lohaus. Back to Sparrow. Reversing it to Paxson from the outside. He won't miss many of those. That's 4 in the ball game. In the win streak, Paxson has been playing about 28 minutes a game and averaging about 12 points. Lohaus from the corner. The left-hander misses, but there's Bird.
Paxson's hurt.
20-second
timeout.
Chicago.
John Paxson limping.
Like his thumb on his right hip he's holding.
Mark Feil, the Chicago trainer, out there helping Paxson off the floor. 7:23 to go in the second quarter. Celtics lead it by 5 points. Paxson up and walking and talking to Feil. Appearances here, looks like he may be all right. This program is authorized under rights granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Oh, look at there. He's doing what he loves to do best. A little eating, a little drinking to wash it down. Boy, John, Got a lot bigger than the last time I saw him. He's supposed to be the MC of a roast they're having the night before they retire my jersey, so that should be a lot of fun having John there. Very funny man.
10 seconds on the shot clock for the Bulls. Jordan against Manyfield. Shaking and baking. Clock down to 4. Jordan leaning and shooting. Missing. Rebound. Parrish. Bird on the drive past Pippen. Scoops it. Won't fall. Rebound Corzine. Celtics by 5. Pippen had the shot, didn't take it.
Well, that's what happens when you have problems with it. You don't have the confidence to take that open shot.
Jordan tried to get around Lowhouse. They'll call the foul on the rookie. And Brad Sellers back into the ballgame for Chicago. And Pippen goes out.
And Sellers will shoot that shot.
McHale about to come back into the game for the Boston Celtics. And Lowhouse goes out. 14 fouls on the Bulls, 1 on the Celtics.
Look at Bulls shooting horrendously here in the second period.
Yeah, Jordan posted down low. Manyfield got on him, and they passed the ball back out. Bulls have 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Sparrow trying to penetrate, has to shoot it from taller range. Can't get it to go. Bird with another rebound. Missing. Corzine rebounding. Corzine with 5 rebounds. He and Sellers have 5 each.
Corzine's done a good job for the Bulls off the bench.
Jordan against Manyfield, and there's Bird. Jordan has to kick it back out. Sellers from the 17 missing. Parrish rebounding.
That also was flat.
Celtics continue to lead by 5. Bulls can't score. Turnover. Corzine gets the loose ball to Sparrow, who can't hold it. Nice play by Corzine, but Sparrow just wasn't ready for the pass. The ball will belong to Boston. And the Celtics are going to call a 20-second timeout with 5:22 to go in the second quarter.
Well, the Bulls have got to try and generate something inside, get their offense turned around a little bit here. Bob, they're staying with the perimeter shooting, and the perimeter shot's not going down for them. And as a result, Boston's been able to control the boards and get it down the court with some easy opportunities.
Doug Collins, in his second year, second youngest coach of in the NBA. Got a tough job, particularly having a team with a superstar of the status of Michael Jordan. Now he's got a problem at center. But nevertheless, the Bulls have won 3 games more this year than they did at the same time last year. They had 16 wins. Now the Bulls have 19. They're an improved team. Bird missing badly from the perimeter. Sellers with a nice move, but can't get it to go down. Was that Corzine tipping it in? Yes. Corzine has 8 points, 5 rebounds. Jordan came to help out, but the loose ball is corralled by Parrish. It'll belong to Boston. 22 seconds on the shot clock. Pick from McHale. 15. Rebound, Darren Day. Passed it to nobody.
It was funny. Casey Jones looked over like, who in the world did you try to throw that to?
Celtics by 3. Bulls have a chance to pull to within 1 or tie it. Jordan blows past Day. Oakley's there for the rebound. He's fouled on the follow-up.
Charles Oakley's been struggling recently. He had a couple of decent games the last few times out, but he went through a bad series of playing poorly. And during that stretch, he was doing a lot of talking about his value to this team and how he feels that, you know, he really isn't compensated the way he should be, although he was quoted as saying that he'll live up to his contract. He signed it. He's going to play it out and work hard every game and give the Bulls his best effort. But he says he owes them that, and he's a professional. But interesting to see if he maintains that attitude through another season of being paid the kind of money he is. He feels he's worth over $1 million.
Bird gets a rest. Fred Roberts checks in for the Celtics. Oakley right now with 1 point and 3 rebounds.
Oakley also said that he plans on winning the rebounding championship this season.
There's more rebounds on an average than he does points. Okay, they've left him alone. Now gets some help. And Roberts stepped on the baseline before he received the pass. It's another Boston turnover, and Chicago can tie with 3:55 to go in the second quarter. Corzine tries the bank shot from long range. He was 3 out of 3 from out there. That's real confidence. That was about a 20-foot bank shot attempt. Michael Jordan passes to Corzine. He gets it from about 6 feet. This game is tied, and Corzine has 10. Got 6 rebounds. Timeout Boston with 3:18 to go in the second quarter. The game tied at 37. Craig Sager will be along with the news, scores, and highlights from around the league. Tonight's feature on Seattle Supersonics coach Bernie Bickerstaff. Seattle in 3rd place out in the Pacific, 18-15, and we'll have Seattle hosting Utah Friday night. We'll also be announcing at halftime this week's NBA Player of the Week.
Also next week you get another look at the Chicago ball club against Atlanta, and they always put on quite a show when they get Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins going at it. That'll be on Tuesday night. You see the offensive boards and the points off of those rebounds. I think it's important for Paxson. He got like a hip pointer. He fell on sort of on the bone inside his right cheek there on the derriere, and you got to keep that warm. Once that cools down, it gets very stiff.
3:13 to go in the half. Tied at 37. Roberts on the drive. And Corzine doing it all. Tall tonight. Jordan against 3 Celtics. Pulls up to 15. Nobody's there in a white jersey, and the Celtics can take the lead on this possession.
Oakley and McHale really going at it for position.
Loose ball foul.
Fred Roberts over the back.
Fred Roberts, his first, 3rd team foul.
3 team fouls on the Celtics, 4 on the Bulls. The bench has been the difference here in the Bulls coming back in the second quarter after falling behind. The Chicago bench with 18 points. Corzine has 10. Boston bench with only 4 points. Boston bench has been a problem all year.
Now Paxson is handling the point position.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Sellers from long range. Oakley with another rebound. For 3 points, Paxson. This is way over to the left side. Intercepted by, or picked off by Day as Paxson was down there, and Day drives the lane. Boy, Boston, if they get that board, they will get somebody down court in a hurry and baseball pass it. Very few dribbles on the Boston break.
Two minutes left in the half.
And the foul on Darren Day. Speaking of the benches, Chicago's bench playing so much better than Boston's at this point. In the last 5 games, Boston's starting 5 has played 83% of the minutes and scored 93% of the points. The Chicago bench is outperforming them 18-4 thus far here tonight. Jordan having trouble on the penetration. They let him drive and then funnel him into the big guys. Ainge. Boston by 4 with 1:38 to go in the second quarter.
And Ainge Conley gets on the board. His first points. They need Danny to pick up the slack. We talked about that at the start of the ball game. It's one of the reasons the Celtics don't have a bigger lead here.
Corzine. Parrish with the loose ball. Celtics playing without Dennis Johnson tonight. Re-aggravated that right shoulder injury, rotator cuff. Ainge with more dribbling than you normally see in a game from the Boston Celtics, but he gets inside the free throw line and scores. Has 4 now.
Celtics got away with it there. Robert Parrish was in the lane forever that time.
Time remaining in the first half, 45 seconds. 12 on the shot clock for Chicago. Paxson has it tipped away by Ainge, and will belong to the Bulls with 7 on the shot clock.
Now, I think Chicago should get it in, take a good quick shot, and get 2 shots to 1 against Boston here.
Minifield back into the ball game for Boston, and Darren Day going down to the other end of the floor to get a rest.
If they use up too much time here, then Boston uses a lot of time on the clock. They won't have much left to get a good opportunity at the end of the quarter.
Jordan has not scored in this quarter. Minifield out on the break. Once again, 1 bounce in the pass and 2 points for Boston.
Well, that's not the way that Doug Collins wanted to get 2 shots to 1. The outside shooting, or the shooting period of the Bulls this quarter, has really caused them a lot of problems because they haven't gotten many offensive rebounds, and the Celtics have capitalized on the missed shots.
Really defense Jordan well. No points in the quarter. Jordan just inside the 3-point line. The first 2 for Jordan. With 5 seconds remaining in the quarter. Ainge for 3 points. Misses, and that's the end of the first half, with the Celtics leading by 6 points. Misses. That's the Legends game on February 6th on All-Star Saturday here on the Superstation. In the first half, we told you the Bulls shooting 38%, Boston 47%. Interestingly enough, that's less than Boston usually shoots, even though it's pretty good.
Yes, but the Bulls, if you remember, they shot over 50% in that first period, so they were horrendous in the second. That hurt them because the Celtics controlled the boards, and there's the scoring leaders. But I do think that even though Corzine's had a good job and Jordan and Bird are down a bit, that Doug Collins has to feel very good as you look at the matchups between the 2 centers. Of course, Corzine off the bench having a great game. Is the fact that Doug told us earlier today that if he can keep the front line of the Boston Celtics somewhere in the 70-point range for the game, that they have a real shot at winning it. And right now, they're doing a good job of that, and they're only trailing by 6. However, they're going to have to shoot the ball just a little bit better and a little better job on their defensive boards.
As we told you, that Boston front line scored 31 of the 45 points in the first half. So Collins' defensive goal is in pretty good shape there from a Chicago point of view. But Boston leads by 6. Bird with 10 points in the first half. A rainbow. Any way he needs to shoot it, he finds a way.
That's shooting the ball up to the basket, not flat.
Celtics now out by 8 with the early score. Jordan scored only 2 points in the second quarter. Equals that total with his first attempt here in the third. Michael with 12 in the game. Jordan, of course, the NBA leading scorer. Bird's in second place. Minifield wide open, but got it to Ainge anyway, just inside the 3-point line. Ainge has not hit a 3-pointer in this game. He's got a streak of 15 consecutive 3-point games going. Oakley. Minifield playing at the 1 guard position in place of the injured Dennis Johnson. Mike Brown, who gave the Bulls just a few minutes starting at center. Then it was all Corzine starting this half. Sellers.
The Bulls already have doing a better job in their transition from their defense to their offense than they did almost the entire second period.
Sellers with 8 points in the game. Celtics by 4. Turnaround from Bird. It's 2 out of 3 in this quarter.
You think he's looking to be more offensive minded? The 3 times he's touched the ball, he's let it fly.
Bird has 14. Remember, he was 6 out of 14 his last game, had only 20 points, and Bird's history is that if he has a bad game shooting, and for him that was, he'll light it up the next time. And Sellers is doing some lighting of his own. He started the ball game shooting well, and he's doing the same in the second half, now has 10.
Interesting, the Bird and Sellers are both smiling and laughing down the court the other time. Sellers must have said something to him.
How about I'll give you your points if you'll give me mine?
I doubt Larry would say that.
I would doubt it. Benefield with the drive. He traveled. Got in among the tall timber. Had nothing to do but get out of there. Celtics by 4, 9:39 to go, third quarter. Along with Rick Barry, Bob Neal with him from Chicago Stadium, where the Bulls have won 4 in a row at home. Nice pass to Jordan from Charles Oakley. And Jordan lighting up now. He has 14.
Look at the Celtics miss, and the Bulls come back down here. The Casey's going to call a timeout.
McHale, short jump hook.
That may have postponed it.
51-47 Boston. McHale has 12. McHale's next 2 points will give him 10,000 for his career. There's Jordan with 16 now. Brown trying to save it, couldn't do it. 11 on the shot clock. Boston very good on the inbounds play. They often score on it. They take it very seriously. Let's see. The pick for Ainge to drive. Back to McHale. Minifield. That wasn't exactly what they wanted. Bird with the steal. And the shot. And the loose ball. Into McHale. Reverse.
Larry Bird read that play perfectly, and McHale now has those 10,000.
8:14 to go in the third quarter. Celtics lead by 4. Jordan missing on the reverse, but Oakley is there. Jordan, over a photographer, is okay. See him coming back into your picture. Celtics by 2. It's been a good third quarter so far. Ainge for 3. Remember, he has a string of 15 games with 3-pointers. He has not got one in this game, but Bird,
he's trying to light it up here. He's really trying to get untracked offensively. He got 31 in the first half in a game last year here, and they said it was because they shorted him on some tickets. Doug Collins said, hey, listen, next time tell me, I'll give him all the tickets he wants.
Sellers is fouled on the drive. Boston bench wanted him to be called for traveling before he took the drive. Foul is on Larry Bird. His second personal in this ballgame. Brad Sellers from Ohio State University. Second year, 7 feet tall. A quick forward.
I'm going to ask Larry something. He just came over in front of us and did what I've seen him do over the years so often. He takes his hands and wipes off the bottom of the soles of his shoes. I'm going to have to ask him sometime why he does that. I would think you get dirt on your hands, you wouldn't shoot the ball as well.
He's used to playing in old dirty gyms like amateurs like me, and if there's dust on the floor, I think he's getting the dust off his sneakers so he has better grip. They probably dust the floor here when he comes to town. And this is an old gym.
Kind of like watering down the infield.
Rainbow over Sellers. So I found something I have in common with Larry Bird. I use my hands to wipe off this.
That's about as close as you come, Bob.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Oh, Michael Jordan and Larry Bird are putting on a show at Chicago Stadium.
Well, this is what everybody paid to see, and they had to wait a half to get their money's worth, but it's coming right now.
And it's a 2-point game with 6:48 to go in the third. Ainge penetrating, getting to McHale from 18.
Bad shot. Bird was wide open out on the right side. Nobody anywhere near him. McHale should have given it up. But again, McHale doesn't see many open people.
Sellers with a double dribble. Boston ball, leading by 2.
Timeout, Chicago.
Timeout, Chicago with 6:36 to go in the third. In high school, meaner, stronger, shorter haircut now. He has 18.
Just what the opposing players and coaches in the NBA wanted to see. A leaner, quicker, meaner Larry Bird. And look what happened to the Bulls with their shooting.
Celtics by 2 with 6:31 remaining in the third quarter, along with Rick Barry, Bob Neal. And here's the yellow-crowned French linkster. A throwback thrush from the perimeter. Bird missing this time.
Throwback thrush.
Bird is 4 out of 6 this quarter. Bulls can tie. Jordan is also hot. It's tied. 20 points for Michael Jordan. Neal up the double team, finds Ainge, reverse it to Minifield from 18. Just what the Bulls want. Jordan, with that tongue hanging out, really wanted to go to the hoop, but he used better judgment, got it to Sparrow. I guess it wasn't better judgment as Sparrow misses it. 4 Bulls back on the Boston break this time.
They had 4 on 3 that time. They took an outside jumper. That's not a good shot in that situation.
Parrish. This is the jam. No foul. Ainge for 3. And his streak is alive. 16 consecutive games for Danny Ainge from 3-point range.
And he had his arms up in the air, letting him know he made it. He's been thinking about it, and I think that's affected his game early on. He's been trying to get that basket. Now, maybe he can settle down and just play ball.
It's an NBA record. Jordan fakes Ainge out of his shoes. Danny Ainge traveled 3 more feet after Jordan stopped. 22 points now, 6 out of 6 in this quarter. Ainge from the baseline, he's fouled. There you go. He continues to build on the NBA record, Danny Ainge. He has more 3-point field goal attempts and more 3-point field goal makes than anybody in the NBA this year. He'll be in the 3-point shootout on All-Star Saturday here in Chicago at this gym, and Ainge misses the free throw.
You saw as the start of the show, if you weren't with us, 43.8%, 5th in the NBA to start this game, but he's not shooting well from there in tonight's game.
8 points, 5 assists for Ainge in the game. Celtics by 2, 4:40 to go in the quarter. It's been a beauty. It's been mainly Bird and Jordan. Dirk Minifield has the job of guarding Jordan. They get it to Sparrow. Sparrow. And the Bulls have tied it at 61. Sparrow has 6.
Jordan doing it all. Danny Ainge actually plays good defense here. Stays with him, makes him make the move. He's right there, and Michael with that little spin fadeaway move. Now, normally you say that's a bad shot, Bob, but when a guy's hot and he's Michael Jordan, that is a good shot in this situation for him.
Well, it's showtime. Jordan and Bird have been lighting it up with 3:55 to go in the third quarter. Just take a look. Bird with 18, Jordan with 24. That's game totals.
Michael started out with 10 and Larry with 10 to start this third period, so they've turned it up a notch here in cold Chicago. You couldn't tell that the temperature's dropping inside.
Jordan, the leading scorer in the NBA at 32.7 a game. Bird is second at 29.3. This game is a Bulls 2-point lead. Foul on Sparrow.
His second personal foul, team second.
2 team fouls on the Bulls, only 1 on the Celtics this quarter. Corzine about to check back in for Chicago. Parrish against the shorter Brown, gets the layup.
Robert Parrish.
And no help defensively from the opposite side that time by the Bulls. And I saw Charles Oakley mad at himself. He realized that he should have been in there to help.
And Minifield with the block on Sparrow. Corzine into the ball game.
Second team, Dave Corzine for Mike Brown.
3:25 to go in the third. It's tied at 63.
And Brown did a good job there in the start of this second half. As you say, that just biding time, and that's exactly what he did.
He's a wide body, weighs about 250 pounds. Jordan gets Parrish this time. Bounces it into Corzine over Bird. McHale with a rebound. Ainge on the penetration and the pass out to Minifield. Ainge on the penetration and the pass to Parrish. Not many better at penetrating and dishing than Danny Ainge. He loves, and he's equally good at penetrating and scoring, but he really loves to pass it to one of those big guys. Celtics by 2. Jordan.
Boston ball.
Celtics ball with 2:29 to go in the third. Celtics have the lead by 2. Scraped off Michael Jordan on the pick, but missed from outside. Ainge having a subpar night offensively. Now he's playing Jordan defensively. That's like a terrier trying to tear off your pants leg when Ainge is trying to scrape away at it.
Yeah, but that's not a smart foul. I think Danny realized that reaching in on Michael Jordan when he's 20 feet from the basket doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Of course, the last time he was 20 feet away, put about 9 moves on him. Hit the jumper.
2 minutes.
Now Minifield tries to stop it. This is it. Bird rebounds. Minifield against Sparrow. There's Jordan with a rebound. Sparrow from 15. Bulls have gone cold. Boston ball. 1:41 to go in the third quarter. Celtics by 2. Parrish takes a rest, and Mark Akers gets in for Boston. Paxson checks into the ball game for Chicago for Sparrow. Bird open underneath. Beautiful pass.
Well, that's what the Celtics do so well, Bob. They move the ball, but again, that's the play that Doug Collins went over in the shoot-around this morning. The center was supposed to be in a position to not allow that pass to go in the middle.
10 on the Chicago shot clock. Jordan from 18. Bird with another rebound. Bird has 7 rebounds in the game and 20 points. Boston by 4. Boston by 6.
And Larry Bird, the master of so many moves, and one of the reasons that he has the potential of staying hotter and continuing on a roll more so than perhaps Michael Jordan for an extended period is that Michael's a jump shooter. Larry doesn't use his legs as much, and they stay fresher.
Jordan with a beautiful pass from Oakley. Oakley had his back to the hoop and bounced it with his right hand to the soaring Michael Jordan.
And I should be able to have jumped like that with tired legs.
Well, he just didn't get up 25 feet, only about 20. Akers back to Bird. Bird had already counted that one.
He had it dead on line, just a hair long. Obviously, his legs aren't tired when you miss long.
17 seconds in the third.
It's not because your legs have lost a little energy.
Celtics by 4. Jordan will just let that clock tick down. 1 second differential in the game clock and the shot clock. Sellers with the drive and the jam from Michael Jordan. Jordan kind of lulled him to sleep a little bit there, and as Jordan bounced it to Sellers, Celtics defense wasn't quite ready. Bird from half court. No. But when he tosses that one up, you got to wait because it might fall. Celtics lead by 2. That was a beautiful third quarter. We'll be right back.
Bird, and we'll watch on the replay as we take a look at it. Watch Dave Corzine, number 40 in white, now in the middle of your screen. Bird comes in from the left. He's wide open. Corzine didn't even see the ball as the great pass came in from Minifield. Bird with a nice reverse layup, but Corzine was supposed to have opened up and shut down that lane. He didn't do it. They paid the price. Now we'll watch Michael Jordan. He gets a beautiful bounce pass on the back cut and takes it home.
12 minutes of basketball left at Chicago Stadium. Celtics lead 69-67. At the half, it was 45-39 Boston. So the Bulls outscored the Celtics 26-24 in that quarter. There are the stats. Both teams shooting 46%. The Chicago bench has been one reason Chicago has stayed in this ball game. The bench outperforming Boston's. Grant has it blocked by Fred Roberts. Reggie Lewis with the ball as the Boston bench comes in for some time right here at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Roberts across the lane, missing. Sellers stepped out of bounds on the rebound. Doug Collins coaching his heart out on the sideline. This is a time for Chicago to get a lead in the ball game if they can play against this weakened Boston bench. There's Boston turnover.
Good play by Grant to Jordan.
With the layup, what a beautiful move there. As Jordan saw that Lewis was right on him and he finessed in the layup instead of going for the jam. It's tied at 69. Right up on Ainge, finds Bird. Akers with a rebound. There was a new shot clock off the rebound, of course. 15 on the shot clock. Bird, the turnaround. From long range, Larry Bird.
It's fun to watch him work. Before he made the other move, what he did is he made it look like somebody was coming, tried to make his man guarding him, who was Sellers, think that a man was coming to set a pick on him. It's a very crafty individual in Larry Bird.
He has 24 in this game. Sellers, 7 feet, shoots over 6'9" Bird. Tied at 71. Sellers has 16. He's having himself a fine game. 7 out of 11 from the field for Brad Sellers. He's got to guard Bird. Bird just kind of hooked around him, got the feed to Fred Roberts, who traveled. Well, it was McHale, you'd probably count the two, but it's Fred Roberts.
Even if he hadn't traveled, Bob, they still had Lewis in the lane. They would have had a 3-second violation against him, I'm sure.
10:04 to go in the fourth quarter. It's tied at 71. We've got a barn burner at Chicago Stadium. They've used it to win the city. Grant out to Jordan from 18. Bird with a rebound. He has 8 rebounds. His average per game is a little more than 9. Pass from Ainge from 13. Larry Bird, 26 points. Remaining in the game. Celtics by 2. Jordan is fouled on the drive by Danny Ainge. That's number 2 on Ainge. Team fouls. Bulls have none. Celtics first.
You see Bird using his body against Sellers to get some contact and then does that little step away. He's famous for that move.
Jordan past Akers. He's fouled. Counts the basket. I don't think Mark Akers even saw that. Tried to get the license number of the little sports car that blew past him.
Well, this is what great offensive players do, Bob, is we'll see the play again. He gets it. He gets Akers coming out, and he knew he had him beat because he was coming towards him. Made the move, had the contact, and the moment you hear the whistle blow and you've got the ball in your hands, you got to find some way to get it up to the hole. That's what Michael did.
Jordan has 31 points, meaning he's 1.7 points below his average, which leads the NBA. Roberts on the drive past Grant. Deep shot from Roberts.
Got to take away the right hand of Fred Roberts. He likes to go right, and he's been able to go right the last 2 times he had the ball. So you overplay the right side, make him beat you going to his weakness.
Boston without Dennis Johnson tonight. He stayed home with a re-aggravated rotator cuff in the right shoulder. Jordan from 18. Jordan has 33. Reggie Lewis over Jordan.
By Reggie Lewis.
8:21 to go in the ball game. Celtics by 1. Corzine against Akers. Backs in, goes with the left hand. Bird with a rebound. That's 9 rebounds for Bird, right on his average. Loses Sellers. Kept alive. Nice job by Akers. Lewis on the drive. Corzine was there with the block twice. Could be showtime. Nice pass, Jordan to Sellers. It was showtime. It's just another kind of show. Bulls with a 1-point lead.
That was a sideshow, Bob.
Bird, a little bit of entertainment himself. He's fouled on the drive.
You see the one block and another block as Grant came in to help out, and now Michael Jordan taking it down the court against Danny Ainge with a little hesitation move, draws Roberts over, which leaves Sellers open and makes a nice move to get the shot up and in.
Grant just picked up his 3rd foul there against Bird. And Bird, uncharacteristically missing a free throw. He's 3rd in the NBA. Bird scores at a 91% average, and Boston only 6 out of 11 from the free throw line tonight. Manyfield back in the ball game. Robert Parrish also checks in, and here comes Kevin McHale. Okay, so let's check that Boston lineup. We have Manyfield, Bird, Parrish, McHale, and Reggie Lewis.
Casey has to feel pretty good because he got McHale and Parrish quite a bit of rest. They have 7:24 to play right now, and they're still tied in the ball game, so they didn't really lose all that much.
Tied at 78. Corzine against the smaller, lighter Lewis. Hits Paxson. Now Jordan. 35 for Michael Jordan. He had a sore right thumb coming into the ball game. He jammed it against Corzine in practice yesterday. Hasn't seemed to bother him at all, particularly in this second half. Jordan had only 10 at the half. Bird over Pippen. Pippen said he was excited, the rookie from Central Arkansas, and coming into the game to play Larry Bird.
That had to freeze old Dusty Rhodes.
29 points for Bird in the game. Here's Pippen. Trying to take it off the glass. Definite lack of confidence in that perimeter shot. Tied at 80. And he's fouled by Pippen. We have a timeout on the floor with 6 minutes, 21 seconds to go in the ball game. Celtics by 2. Bird will come back to go to the line. Pippen just picked up his 3rd foul. In one of our early telecasts, Chicago beat Atlanta in the Omni, but the Hawks are playing much better now. We talked about showtime with Bird and Jordan. There's the statistical story.
If you just joined us, that both of those players only had 10 points at the half.
Boston only 8 out of 13 from the line. They're shooting 78% on the year. Uncharacteristically low free throw percentage for the Celtics in this game. Celtics by 3, 6:12 remaining. Corzine, after the ball stayed alive, battled in there, but the Celtics defense denied him the hoop. To Parrish from Bird. Celtics out by 5 suddenly. The refreshed starters. Reggie Lewis playing the 2-guard position as Ainge continues to rest. Ainge having a bad game for him. Paxson from outside. Bulls to within 3. Sparrow getting set to check back into the ballgame for Chicago, and Ainge getting off the Boston bench. Bird over Sellers. Bird with 34. the league's leading rebounder with another one. Oakley has only 7 tonight. He's averaging more than 13. Paxson driving past Lewis. He's fouled. The rookie fouls Paxson. Bulls with 2 team fouls. Celtics with 3 team fouls. And Ainge and Sparrow get back into the ball game. Lewis goes to the bench. Paxson goes to the bench. Cleveland leading the Knicks. Knicks beat Boston the other night in New York. Corzine, who was red hot from the perimeter early in the game, does it again. Dave Corzine, and this is a 3-point Celtics lead. Corzine with 12 off the bench. Bird was open to make the beautiful pass to Parrish, and he's fouled by Charles Oakley.
See, again, Bird showing his greatness, Bob. So many players would have shot that ball, but Bird, with the great court awareness and vision that he has, as he gets the pass, you see he's wide open, but he also saw that Robert Parrish made a cut to the basket, and Robert, knowing the great player that Bird is, was ready for the pass. So many other players would have just looked for a rebound. That helps when you play together a number of years, when you know each other well.
Parrish is only a 68% free throw shooter, has 14 in this game, and hits both of these big ones. 89-84 Boston, 4:18 remaining. Both teams with what the coaches would consider their best 5 on the floor right now. On the shot clock. Quickly looking for Jordan. There he comes in the paint. Michael Jordan with 37. Bird has 34. Celtics by 3. 3:49 to go. Bottom right of your screen. Bird moving left, shooting right. Oh, my.
He is just a picture-perfect ball player as far as I'm concerned. He does so many things so well.
He just stole it. Sparrow trying to stop it. To no avail. Bird has 38. He was 6 out of 14 in the Celtics last game, and Doug Collins said earlier today the last time you want to see Bird is when he's had a previous game with a poor performance. He doesn't have 2 in a row. Now Jordan. Looked like he was fouled. Nothing was tooted, and the Celtics lead 93-86. Into Parrish, who had gotten inside of Corzine, and he's fouled.
I think the Celtics right now are showing you why I still feel that they're the team to beat in the Eastern Conference.
Is still in your heart.
And even though it's not the most spectacular play in the world, it is Kevin McHale for his 10,000 points. So if you had your Polaroid Spectra system camera ready, you could have had that moment in his professional history. And I should have had my Polaroid Spectra system camera for you to take a shot of me with the 2 wrestlers.
With the American
Dream and Nature Boy. Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair.
They're here tonight. They're separated, of course, as everybody knows. They are definitely adversaries. And they are here tonight, one pulling for Boston, one pull. There's Rick on the right. And where is he? Where's
Dusty's
the Dream?
on the other side of the arena.
Selling popcorn. He's an entrepreneur. Here's the story. 3 minutes to go in the ball game. Celtics lead it 93-86.
Flair likes Jordan because he's North Carolina. He's in Charlotte, and he certainly can't be unhappy with the performance Michael's put on here, but Dusty did say that the Celtics were going to win and that Bird was going to dominate, and he was a pretty good predictor so far, Bob.
Parrish gets them both, has 17. Parrish is 3 points away from scoring his 15,000th point in the NBA. It's 17 now. We'll keep a watch on that. Celtics by 9, 2:49 remaining. Jordan has 39. Shot clock to 10. McHale. Isolated against Oakley. Now Sparrow helps out. McHale shoots and scores anyway with 3 on the shot clock. Clock to 2:12. The Celtics continue to lead by 9. There you see the time at the bottom right. Jordan with the rebound. McHale guarding Jordan. Gets McHale airborne, and he fouls Michael Jordan.
And Robert Parrish was guarding no one in the middle of the lane.
Foul on Kevin McHale, his second.
That's 2 on McHale.
Michael Jordan, 2 shots.
Jordan's got 39. Jordan has had 40-plus points 6 times. He had 52 versus Cleveland on December 17th.
That free throw didn't count because Tommy Nunez blew his whistle and said that Parrish is not in the right position there. The fan is not happy with the call.
But Jordan hits it again. He'll go to the line. That's 40. Chicago, this will be only the 9th free throw in this game for the Bulls. Boston has shot 17. Jordan missed it, but the Bulls keep it alive with 1:54 to go. Paxson for 3. Now the Bulls have pulled to within 5 with 1:50 to go on the Paxson three-pointer.
Michael Jordan on Bird.
Oh, here's a great matchup. Bird to McHale against Sellers, who gets the double team help. They find Ainge, reverse it to Manyfield from 15. Oh, you double team Boston, they'll cut your heart out.
Well, that's what Doug wanted. He wanted Manyfield shooting the ball. That time Manyfield came through for the Celtics.
Manyfield has played well tonight in the absence of Dennis Johnson. Jordan past McHale. Bird fouls Michael Jordan. Michael goes to the line. It's a 7-point Celtics lead with 1:14 to go in the game.
You see Bird come over to help out right across the face of Michael Jordan.
Jordan with the big clutch free throw. Jordan with 41 points. Celtics by 5. 1:13 to go. Jordan on Bird. Gets it to Manyfield on the drive. Sellers caused him to change his shot. He captured the ball. And the Bulls can pull to within 3 with 49 seconds remaining.
Didn't take this much time.
Jordan with the miss from 14. Foul in the backcourt.
The foul on Charles Oakley.
It's on Oakley.
His 4th penalty.
And both teams in the penalty. Of course, we have 35 seconds to go in the ball game. Celtics 99, Bulls 94. Many of the crowd here putting on their parkas and heading into the cold Chicago night.
Shows you the difference one shot can make if Michael's shot goes in. Everybody's here.
Bulls have won 4 games in a row here at home. Celtics 101, Bulls 94. Timeout Chicago with 35 seconds remaining in this ball game. (101-94) Boston with 35 seconds remaining in this ball game. Bulls made a valiant run at it. Jordan with his 42 points has once again been the man that Chicago has been riding. Casey Jones and the Celtics rode Bird, but they have more weapons.
also the Celtic team has so much more experience than the Bulls. The Bulls are one of the youngest teams in the league, and that makes a major difference.
For three, Jordan missed badly. Oakley tosses it back out there. This time Sparrow for three. Rebound Parrish with 23 seconds and the foul on Oakley. Parrish seems to be injured.
So it's hit in the face.
Foul Charles Oakley, his fifth penalty.
He's all right. He's all right. It doesn't mean he's not hurting. 23 seconds to go in the ball game.
You'll see him get it in the head, right across the side of his face.
They're going to call that foul on Jordan. That's his sixth, and he fouls out of the game with 42 points.
Well, I tell you, Michael would rather have 24 in the wind.
Parrish misses the free throw. He has 17. He's just 3 points away from scoring his 15,000th NBA point. That's 18 for Parrish. Timeout Chicago. 23 seconds to go in the ball game. Parrish has been a monster on the boards tonight.
Well, he's done an exceptional job. He doesn't get very much credit because he's playing on a team that has Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Dennis Johnson, but he's a constant for them. He's there all the time. Played exceptionally well in the playoffs last year. And, you know, I think right now we should get Chicago with the timeout, and back onto the floor comes Pippen Sellers, Rory Sparrow, Michael Jordan, and John Paxson. Celtics with their starters. Dirk Minifield has done a good job at the one guard position for Boston tonight, as I've told you. Dennis Johnson's been out injured with a rotator cuff in his right shoulder. Trying to find the three-pointer. Jordan has it blocked by Ainge, gets it back out to Paxson. Stolen away from Ainge by Jordan. Paxson hits this three-pointer with 8 seconds to go in the game. Celtics lead it by 5. Is fouled by Scottie Pippen with 2 seconds remaining in the ball game. The Celtics leading 102-97. Obviously, Michael didn't pick up his 6th personal foul.
The announcement was made that Jordan had the 6th. I thought it was a mistake anyway, because the man who committed the foul was Oakley on that. Right. It was announced by the PA system here that Jordan had fouled out with 6 fouls. But it was Oakley who got the foul. Jordan back into the ball game with 2 seconds remaining.
Well, you saw him go over. He put the towel around his shoulder, in his jacket, around his shoulder, and he thought he was out of the game as well.
They announced it and took him out of the ball game. But the mistake that had been made was attributing the foul to Jordan instead of Charles Oakley.
I'm looking forward to seeing him go against Dominique Wilkins and Spud Webb in that dunk contest.
And Danny Ainge blocking the last desperate attempt on the shot by Sparrow. This one is history. Celtics win it 104-97, and the Celtics have now won 11 of their last 13 games, and the Bulls' 4-game home win streak comes to an end. From the number 1 and 2 leading scorers in the NBA, Larry Bird finished with 38 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals. Jordan had 42, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. Stay tuned to Superstation TBS now for the best entertainment following tonight's basketball game. The Superstation movie presentation is Checkered Flag or Crash, starring Jodan Baker and Susan Sarandon. Executive producer of TBS Sports is Don McGuire. Tonight's game produced by Kim Belton, directed by Tom Smith. Technical director Rick Rayford, associate director Scott Cockrell and Ken Noland, and the studio producer Rodney Triplett. From Chicago Stadium, for Rick Barry, this is Bob Neal. So long, everybody.